that much division, you know, we're in trouble. And if you want to live in a nanny state, keep asking Lou, what are you going to do for me? Don't ask Lou what he's going to do for you anymore. Tell him to cut the Department of Education and bring it back to the state.
Yes,
yeah,
right. Who's going to hire you? You're hired.
Along the lines of pro-life, I'm told that there was 50 million abortions since Roe versus Wade. Well, they've killed the funding for Social Security for the future. Who's going to be here to pay it? Did they bring that up enough?
Yeah, you're right.
That would be the generation's life and the ones ahead of them. They'd kill them.
Well, you know, the election really is about the next generation. You know, I've talked to so many seniors, you know, and they're obviously concerned about what's going on. They're not happy about not getting a cost of living increase. They're not happy about, you know, what's happening, you know, with Social Security. But people here in northeastern Pennsylvania are tough people. They grew up, you know, tough and strong, and they may not like what's happening to them, and they'll fight. They'll find a way to get by and get through. But don't mess around with their grandchildren. And that's the anger that I'm feeling and hearing as I talk to more and more people. It's, you know, I've had so many seniors tell me, you've got to stop spending. How will my grandchildren pay this money back? And really, when you think about it, you know, that's what most parents and families worry about. It's you worry about your children, your grandchildren. We hear that all the time, but it's so true. I mean, when we think about, you know, since America was founded, every generation left the next generation a better opportunity. You know, most of our, you know, our grandparents, many of them were immigrants coming here, and the government, when they came to America, didn't have anything to give them. They had two choices when they came. They worked or they starved. And they were happy to be here and to work so that their children could have a better life than they had. And we hear the stories of our parents and how hard they worked with so little, but they did it so that we would have a better opportunity in America. And we may be the first generation that won't be able to say that to that next generation, and they have that better opportunity, that better chance. Unless we change the direction that we're going, unless we again turn and realize that we have to unleash the entrepreneurial spirit that made America so great again. Give these kids a chance in life. You know, don't bury them with so much debt that they won't be able to get out. Somebody is going to pay this money back. And somebody's going to ask for it back. You know, and we can't put this country in a position where we have people who have given up on looking for jobs. I've never heard of that. Where people are so frustrated they just stop looking. You know, we've got to change that, and we can. We can change that, and I'm confident that we will. And what I've seen here tonight, in Monroe County, in Columbia County, in Luzerne County, in Carver County is no different. I see Americans saying enough. I don't care who you are, I don't care what party you belong to. If we elect you, you better go to Washington and straighten this mess out. And that's what I'm asking for the chance to do. And that's why I'm here tonight.
I have a question. In regards to welfare, okay, we have people who are driving nice and cars, and probably most of the people in this room, and people who have cash assistance who are in the grocery store getting lobster and cigarettes. All that money, or even like if they got like drug tested, I shouldn't think they should get drug tested. If they did, that would get out such a big percentage of people who are on welfare, they'll get off their bus and actually get a job. Plus, the money that would, instead of using it for people like that, it could go to, say, Social Security or the military.
Well, you know, it touched on you know, because many times I'm asked, you go to Washington, what would you cut? You know, where would you cut? And I believe one of the first things that they need to do in Washington is go line item by line item and cut out the fraud in many of the programs that exist. You know, making sure that the people that need the assistance are getting it. But to eliminate the fraud that is occurring, you know, in the United States, I remember in Hazleton one time we arrested a guy. He had 5 Social Security cards. He had 5 identities. You know, it's just, we don't even know what that number will be. If we went back, cut out the waste, looked at each program, you know, and evaluated whether that program is working as it should or not. Does it need to be changed? Or is it just a bad program that's failing? And cut out the waste and the fraud, and I believe, you know, that's what you would do at home, that's what you would do in a business. I believe that's what they should do in Washington. And if we did that and made this government more efficient, and we cut out that, and we allow that, and I hear that often, you know, people know of somebody who's taking advantage. You know, I think we could save a lot of money. We could save a lot of money.
I truly believe that some of these social programs are so over the top. Like now, people have cell phones for free. The tax dollars are paying for that. I have a cell phone, and I pay my bill every month. I don't get mine for free. You know, it's so over the top with some of these things that it just.
Well,
Just to expand what this gentleman talked about before, I guess it's common sense as well as responsible spending too, right? I think you brought up common sense, but you know, for Boeing to go up against Airbus for the air tank refueling contract, I don't know if you read about that, where you know a European country was awarded the contract, and Boeing was going to lose 10,000 American jobs, and it was just a concept too. Airbus did not have a working model of a refueling tanker. Boeing did. They still lost it because of the better value to buy from an overseas contractor. I said, that should not be the case. I mean, if you look at, again, you're bringing in federal money, turning that money in back into the federal or into the U.S. economy versus sending it somewhere else. Airbus does nothing for the United States. I mean, they're located in France, but still.
That's a military job.
Military. And that's, again, there's security issues involved in this whole thing too. That we're dependent on foreigners, foreign companies to provide this. So I
think we have time for 2 more questions.
You mentioned, you spoke against privatizing Social Security. I can understand you're doing that at this point, but I think you should retain an open mind on the issue, only because history shows that in the United States, the stock market, at any one stretch of time, like 25 years or so, it's far more lucrative to make money than the American government would be Social Security. If people had an option of putting a certain amount of their money into private funds, they probably would make out much better. I mean, there's so much bureaucracy in the federal government. I mean, right now it's a hand-to-mouth thing that's going on. So Social Security is in effect bankrupt right now, just about. I mean, we might do a lot better by using a different system, or partially a different system.
I don't think it was explained to us well enough in the beginning, in the Bush administration. I, for one, put a couple $1,000s into a mutual fund for my kids for school. It paid off pretty well, except for 2008, which I think everyone took a hit because of some greedy bankers or whoever. But I think it should be maybe optional, put a certain amount in there, or some kind of balance.
It became such a controversial subject that nobody even wanted to really talk about it. And when you think about it, when they say that you want to privatize Social Security, there's no money there anyway. When people are paying in, they're paying the recipients. So what you would be privatizing are IOUs to the people, because there's no money there. to give you out of your pay. You know, I think part of it is that.
I mean, I was happy to invest in some mutuals for my children to help me pay for their college.
Right.
But I could see where it could go the other way too, like in 2008, if you're not watching your portfolio, you can
Right.
down.
Right.
I have another question. How would you, now that there are so many people out of work, how are we gonna fix Social Security? What's your plan?
The best way we can fix Social Security, one is not allow anybody in Washington to use the money for anything other than what it was intended for. That's how we got it. Two, we need to grow the economy. When we grow the economy, there will be more people paying in. The best way to put more revenue in the Social Security Trust Fund is to get more people paying in. And as long as our economy is staggering the way it is, Social Security is going to hurt more. And we do need to find ways to repay some of that money that they took out. Right. Eventually, even growing the economy won't be enough to satisfy, you know, what's going to happen in the future. So we need to, one, put a lockbox so that politicians can use it for something else. We need to grow the economy so we have more people paying in. And we need to find ways to repay some of the money that they took out. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of ideas, but people are going to have to go to Washington and make these decisions because they can't continue to ignore it to the point where it's too late and Social Security won't be there if they don't stop using the money and you know.
We're going to send you there so you can do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I know, you know, there's lots of things that you could be doing tonight. But you feel, as I do, that America right now is at a crossroads. I believe that this is the most important election of our lifetime, and the decision that we make next Tuesday could affect our children and grandchildren for decades to come. So I want to thank you so much, and you know, I just feel that, you know, the strength of America is not in its government, it's in you, the people, and I will always make sure that I put your interests first. I will always make sure that I stay in touch with the people that I represent, and I will always fight for the people that I represent. Thank you very much. God bless you.